So you all have, of course, essentially an annual campaign that goes on every year, and then a building campaign here.
That's right.
For both of the facilities, and then we'll have another campaign after you wrap up and build the facilities and the grandstand in Georgetown to be able to expand here as well.
Right. We do an annual support campaign every year, which helps us, keep running.
Sure.
Because, again, we don't charge enough for the programs to cover all the expenses, and most Ys don't. And that's going to go on every year, and will continue to go on every year, and it has been for a number of years. And what we do when we want to expand or build a new facility is you have a capital campaign. We call it a building campaign to raise money for a new building. And that's typically a short campaign, a year, maybe 2 years. You raise a bunch of money, you build a building, and off you go. And when it's time to add more or do something additional 5 or 6, 7 years down the road, then we'll have another capital campaign. It's just kind of short-lived, very compact kind of campaign instead of an ongoing every single year kind of thing.
John, for viewers who may not be totally familiar with the Y, what does the YMCA stand for?
Young Men's Christian Association. It's established in 1851, so it's been here for 100 and something years, and it's started off actually as a way to evangelize and spread the word to sailors in Boston, Massachusetts.
Is that right?
We've gotten
in
away
Boston?
from that. Yeah, exactly. Not so much as that anymore, but now we just preach those principles, so to speak, to all of our participants, and you don't have to be a Baptist or any denomination.
Christians.
Absolutely not. Anybody can join, whether they are or not. We just use those same principles with everything we do.
That's great. So there is still some level of biblical activities there, and
that's
of course that's good. That's good to know.
Well, for in our sports, for instance, if one of the principles we use is that all children will play, whether they're good or not. You go to some of the more competitive leagues, whether it's baseball or t-ball or soccer or any sport, basketball. If you're not necessarily the best on the team, you might sit on the bench quite a bit. But we require every child to play a half, and so everybody gets a chance to participate. So.
That's great. That's how I was able to play. That's right. The only way. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's fantastic. Of course, a lot of viewers can't see, may not be able to see the nice the pen there on your jacket, but the Y always stands out.
Yes.
And that is what a great branding opportunity it is. Folks will use that Y wherever they go.
That's right, and it's worldwide. I mean, it's almost every country they've got a YMCA.
Is that right?
It really is.
Well, there's been some sports have actually launched at a YMCA.
We started basketball, softball. Had a hand in racquetball and some other sports too, but the big one was basketball. And that was in Massachusetts.
That's
Boston,
right.
Massachusetts.
Basketball was formed at a YMCA.
That's right.
That's amazing.
It is, and that's why we want to continue to focus on that. They actually invented it to give the sailors something to do in the downtime, and came together. And it was actually a very brutal game when they started off. But now
we've got rugby. Yeah,
exactly. It was.
That is fascinating. When you think about that, there should be some community tie with the NBA or with the basketball community.
Yeah, they try to, and there are some
symbiotic financial relationship as well.
In Charlotte, the big Sharp, they've got a giant organization in Charlotte, YMCA's, and they've got some real strong support from the Charlotte basketball team and the Panthers football team. And
sure.
So typically, it's community related. If you've got a big team in the area, they typically will align themselves with the YMCA.
Well, of course, y'all are really like virtually any other nonprofit organization, really making a difference. And as you say, the fight against childhood as well as adult obesity, some real issues there. If a viewer couldn't attend the YMCA or attend activities on a regular basis but still want to support, is it best just to call the phone number or visit the website?
Yeah, absolutely. Call the phone number, and they can put you in touch with either me or Matt Dembski, who's our branch director there at the YMCA. He's been there for a year now.
Right.
And we can find out what their skills or desires are and put them to work or offer help that way. So we've got a lot of things to do. And also, one of the big things that the YMCA is good about, and one of our core beliefs is that if you don't have the money financially to participate in our programs, we have a scholarship program for all of our programs. And,
good. Scholarships at the Y.
Right. Which is, that's one of the reasons we operate as a nonprofit. Whether it's sports or membership, if you're going through a rough time or whatnot, we do have a process where you can apply for assistance, and we'll help you pay for it.
That's tremendous, John. 449-9622.
Exactly.
449 YMCA. That's right. You'll never forget that.
Never forget that one. Yeah.
Those will stand out. 449 YMCA. And of course, it's so important to pick up the phone. Are there some real needs that you all have right now? How's the building campaign going along, or what could a viewer do right now to be involved?
The capital campaign, the building campaign, is what we're about to have a new emphasis on. We've raised $5.7 million.
Is that right? $5.7 million.
We'd like to get to 7.5.
Okay, sure.
So we're going to have a renewed push to get some support from the community. And you know, if someone doesn't have a big checkbook, you know, if they'd like to help us
solicit funds even to help out,
or even just administrative help to help us keep track of who we've called.
You have some needs there in the
absolutely
at both locations, or principally the Grand Strand location?
Mostly the Grand Strand.
Okay,
yeah.
Sure. So if a viewer didn't have dollars but had some time to give, you can put them to work.
We'll use them too.
Okay, absolutely. That's great. And of course, does the website have any information about that, or is it best just
a little bit,
call?
But it's not up to date as far as, you know, where we stand on a day-to-day basis. So
sure.
The phone number is usually the best.
Okay, great. And some of the things that a viewer could possibly do. What are some of the things where they need to be active physically, or just the opportunity to be able to be available?
Pretty
to
much everything. Everything from phone calls. You know, we've got volunteers help us with filing. Giving tours to the YMCA, showing around what the facility looks like at Grand Strand. And if they, you know, are connected to the community and want to help us introduce ourselves to you know, some of their neighbors, we'd be glad to do that too, to make presentations about what we're trying to do. So it could be just the fact that you know your neighbors. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to do anything. You know, if you want to just give us a call and we'll come to a PTO or civic club and give a presentation about what we do and what we can do.
That is very important. I'm sure a lot of folks don't even think about it as a nonprofit because they think about it as a glorified health club.
That's right.
But truly, there is an opportunity to make a difference.
Definitely.
And for folks that are interested in spreading the word at some level, not that you all are forceful in that regard, but still recognizing it as the Young Men's Christians Association. There's also YWCAs, aren't there, in some communities?
There are. There's actually one in Charleston.
Is that right?
They've got a similar mission. They focus more on women's issues as opposed to you know, social service, and not necessarily the health and wellness side of it.
So $5.7 million towards and the $7.5 million eventual nut, that would cover building facilities both in Myrtle Beach and in Georgetown.
No, that's just for Grand Strand.
Okay, good.
The Georgetown branch has raised, I believe, 4.5 towards their goal of 6.
They've got a $6 million goal. Yep. Okay,
yep.
sure.
So we're and that will get us the building we want perfectly. You know, if we don't quite meet that goal, we're not really wanting to go into debt. So we'll probably start looking to cut some square footage out of the plan, and we don't want to do that. So we're going to continue to raise that money until we get close to that goal.
So you need another $1.5 million down in Georgetown and almost $2 million.
Almost $2
million. You said 5.7 now towards a $7.5 million goal.
Right.
Well, of course, the layout of the new facility, which is planned, is magnificent.
It's gorgeous. Yeah, it really is nice.
It really is. There's some special aspects there. On a regular basis, y'all are able to maintain salaries and cover things from the existing dollars raised, but I'm sure there's still a need for annualized support.
Yeah, and with our annual support and our programs, you know, we are able to maintain, but we're not able to build anything new or improve, which is where the capital building fund comes in.
Makes the YMCA different from any other health club, John?
Some of the biggest things is the scholarship program, where, you know, if you've got a family who just doesn't have that disposable income to join a health club, or we could help them with that. We focus a lot of our programs on the youth, making sure that the kids are focused on and making sure that they've got an outlet for their energy, whether it's you know, an organized sport or just a health and wellness program. We really focus on that. Our after-school care programs are structured programs. It's not just a daycare.
Free for all.
Right.
Good.
You know, we do homework assistance and
is that right? That's tremendous.
Right. So a lot of that.
And how would a viewer apply for financial assistance?
Same thing, same number.
Okay, 449-9622.
That's right.
And would that be for after-school care as well?
Absolutely.
That is tremendous,
We've got
John.
8 sites in Grand Strand, and I think 8 or 9 in Georgetown, where we actually in the schools and we run that program.
And I know you've just been here a couple of weeks, so knowing the exact times that those are available, you may not be totally familiar with, but those are after-school programs, and there would be some potential financial assistance involved, but all of that is donations help push all that.
And both communities do full-day summer camps also. So,
if you weren't working at the YMCA, John, what do you think you'd be doing?
I was actually going to teach. When I got out of the Air Force, I was looking for a teaching job.
Right.
My wife's a teacher, special ed teacher.
Special ed teacher.
And I wanted summers off with her. And while I was waiting for the school to start hiring for summer, I saw an ad for the YMCA and applied for the sports director job and got it.
Right.
But I was planning on teaching. Middle school science was what I was looking to do.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Didn't quite work out that way, but I've been very happy with the YMCA.
Good for you, your wife, and your girls. Absolutely. Thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Coastal Carolina YMCA CEO John Rhoden coming up next. Sometimes I have trouble remembering phone numbers. Sometimes I have trouble remembering phone numbers and even getting them in the wrap here, 449-9622. But I don't even have to remember that number. Just 449-YMCA. Think about it, 449-YMCA. Take the time to pick up the phone. You heard John say it. This is a real exciting opportunity to pick it up, either to make a donation, cash, check, stocks, anything, or of your time. He's not even saying we need money, all we need is money. He's saying time. Think about giving a little time. Or if you can't give either. If you can't give money, if you can't give time, but you have needs, what's John saying? He's saying pick up the phone and give us a call, 449-9622. If you've got after-school needs, if you've got needs you want to get into a health program but you don't have the financial wherewithal to do it, the YMCA is a nonprofit organization. They want you to call, they want to reach out to you, but they also need to reach out to others for donations so that they can give to you. If you have needs, call the YMCA, but if you have the ability to give them a call also. And you heard him say it, time is critical. If you can come in and make some phone calls or introduce John or other folks, Matt, to the community, some of the building campaign folks, they'll find a way to get out. They'll find the time to come see you to talk about the tremendous plans they have for the new location. It's a $7.5 million goal. You got to pick up the phone, 449-YMCA.